So before I actually start, and that I want to ask you a question. How often do you control your emotions? Right? Do you know how to control your emotions? Because one thing about emotions is a feeling that everyone has, right? And you cannot you can't get rid of these feelings, right? Because even God Himself has emotions of anger, emotions of jealousy. So you as a human being, you can't get rid of that emotions. But sometimes you can actually be angry. So the question is, how do you often take control of your emotions? Right? Your emotions can be of anger. You can easily get angry. You can easily get jealous. So the question is how do you control these emotions? But as I said earlier, there will be no time in your life that you'll be able to control to get rid of your emotions. The only thing you can actually do is for you to control your emotions, to learn how to control your emotions. Because one thing about emotion is it's a feeling that if you don't know how to control it, it will control you and it will make you do a lot of crazy stuff that later on you don't regret, like, oh, I wish I didn't do this, I wish I didn't do that, stuff like that. So you need to recognize, first of all, you need to recognize the triggers, right? The thing that trigger you into feeling this um emotions, right? We can make emotions of anger, because a few years ago I used to have these anger issues. I easily get angry at people. Sometimes I transfer this aggression on people. And one thing about anger is that when you transfer it to other people, if there's no circuit breaker, what I call circuit breaker is someone who puts an end to a particular anger. Because it can actually make you angry right now, and then for you, the anger can reach outside the country, can reach to a different country. At the same time, yeah, you don't underestimate that the power of anger. So you really need to learn how to recognize your triggers, the thing that makes you feel angry, the thing that makes you feel jealousy, like jealous. Yeah, the thing that makes you feel like you're always sad, like they're always against you. You need to recognize these triggers, and then when you're able to recognize all of this, you need to ask yourself, okay, since I'm able to highlight the things that makes me angry, the things that actually triggers my emotions, how will I be able to overcome all of this? How will I be able to control my emotions of anger, my emotions of jealousy, my emotions of sadness? Those negative emotions. These are the things that you really need to control. You need to be in control of these emotions. Else, because if you're not in control of these emotions, the truth is they will control you, and when they control you, it's not going to end well. So you need to recognize the triggers. You need to work on those triggers. You need to understand. It's just sometimes when I get angry, I think I used to walk away, because if I stay at that moment, if I stay at that moment, if I'm not able to overcome that 22 seconds of anger, the trigger that comes up immediately, like react. If you're not able to control those seconds, then you end up making a decision you will forever regret in your life. So next time, maybe someone try to put in a situation of, being too emotional, or not be able to control your emotions, then the best thing you can do is just for you to try and overcome the 3 seconds that comes with the trigger. Right? When the trigger comes up, just calm down yourself down. I used to tell people that you can just count to one to three, 3 times, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 times, and then see the difference between an immediate reaction and you taking time to evaluate the whole thing. Because one thing about people is I used to tell people, sometimes you might try to make me angry, right? I might not actually blame you, because sometimes a lot of people are frustrated. A lot of people walk around with a lot of demons, things that triggers their emotion, things that makes them angry. So you really need to understand that people have issues, people have problems they are facing every day. People have a lot of things that makes them feel angry and and sad all the time. So when they come to you, try to pull your, or like to trigger your emotions, you just need to understand that these people, you cannot give out what you don't have. So they're always going to give out the negativity, because they're always negative inside of them. So when someone is frustrated, the only thing the person has to offer is frustration at that moment. So it's left for you to either react in a positive way or a negative way. So when next someone tries to put in that kind of situation, or what kind of position of not being able to control your anger, I think the best thing you can do is for you to count 1, 2, 3 times, and then after that, if it doesn't really work, you need to work out from the situation. Because if you stay in that situation, because if you stay at that moment, you end up doing a lot of things that you regret. And a lot of people out there, maybe you listening to me right now, you might have a lot of issues when it comes to emotions. You might have a lot of issues when it comes to how you control your anger. You might have a lot of issues when it comes to jealousy, and sadness, perpetual sadness. You might have issue when it comes to even the way you relate with people that are frustrated, people that are angry always. But you need to understand that getting angry is not about you, it's about them. Because you don't give out what you don't have. If you're angry, you're always angry, you give us anger. If you're always jealous, you give a spirit of jealousy. So you really need to understand your triggers. You need to understand the people you are dealing with when it comes to these emotions. Because well, like it's an emotion is just like virus. Like virus. You might actually be careful, but your next double neighbor might not be careful. They might bring problem to you, but you just need to do it for you to react in a way that will save you from these triggers. Because when the trigger comes up and you're not able to control, put everything in place, then a lot of things will actually happen in your life that will make you make yourself vulnerable to all these emotions to get rid of you, to control you. And then once your emotions are able to control you, then you really don't have any power to make any decision anymore. Because a little thing that someone does will always trigger your emotions, and you end up losing yourself. So you really need to understand the thing that makes you angry, the thing that makes you feel sad always, the thing that makes you feel like, oh, they're always against you. You really need to understand all of this.